So now that you're familiar with freight forwarders and 3PLs, let's talk about the import process of what your goods go through when they land in the country that they'll be sold in, and a bit more about customs and duties. As mentioned in the previous videos, a good freight forwarder will be a valuable partner for you to lean on during the entire shipment process, but they especially make the customs clearance process easier. I personally would have no idea how to do the customs clearance process without a freight forwarder, and that's the beauty of working with them is they just handle it for you. Freight forwarders are super knowledgeable and can set you up for a smooth transaction, as well as help you with any roadblocks that you encounter. If you use a freight forwarder, they will handle the entire process for you, including using their networks of customs brokers. You should not have to actively participate in the process of clearing goods through customs, and this lesson will just be informative to let you guys know a little bit more about what happens throughout the process. Once your goods arrive from overseas, they will enter the process of clearing customs at the port of entry. Depending on how busy the port is, allow about a week for the clearing customs process to happen and moving the goods on to their next destination. The customs process may include an inspection by the importing authority. This can be routine and expected or random depending on what type of goods that you're importing. If you're importing items that raise more concerns, like plants or foods, you can expect a more detailed inspection. For everyday products that are low risk, the inspection process should be quite easy. If you transport your items via sea using LCL, what's that mean? That's right, less than container load. Other people's products that were in the same container as yours could be held for inspection, which means that your products would also be held until the inspection's complete. Rarely does this happen, but this is one of the downsides of using an LCL shipment instead of an FCL shipment, which, remember, full container load. All of your shipping documents will need to be in order for the customs agents to review. These include primarily the bill of lading as well as the commercial invoice. Products that are made of certain materials, like wood, will need extra documentation that your freight forwarder should be able to notify you of ahead of time. Again, there are a lot of little specifics for different types of products, so it's great to be working with your freight forwarder. Let them know what your products are and see if they have any advice for anything that you need to be doing before your goods arrive at the customs process. A little tip here, which I've learned the hard way, is all the information about your company and your suppliers, like the name and address, as well as the description of goods, needs to match on the different pieces of paperwork. The duties you owe will be calculated based on the commercial invoice and the HS code and paid to the customs authority by your customs broker on your behalf. Once all paperwork has been reviewed, any inspections have taken place, and your duties have been paid, then your freight will be released. After your freight's been released, hopefully by now your freight forwarder has arranged transportation on to the next destination. This is usually either your house or a middleman's facility like a 3PL, or maybe directly into Amazon's distribution centers. So as a quick recap here, when you're importing into the US, I strongly recommend you use a freight forwarder, and they're gonna handle the majority of this process for you. They may ask for certain documents from you or clarification about your goods, but it's up to them to work with the customs broker to clear your goods through customs for you. In the next video, we're going to discuss the labeling and packaging requirements to get your items ready to ship into Amazon's distribution centers. In this lesson,